Okay. Hello Pacifica! Brian here with new episodes. Well, new episodes. The first episode of New Pacific Fortress. Yes, I know. I'm sorry for abandoning the old series. It was due to many things, mainly the fact that I have forgotten to record many screenshots which would cause discontinuity issues in the future with the new episodes, as well as work and other stupid shit like that. Never mind. I managed to get myself a new PC. As you can see, I'm currently recording this in full HD, and I'm going to be uploading this on YouTube. I'm going to inform you when and how, and so on. Never mind. Basically, we are going to start playing right now. Just give me a moment. I need to. Okay. So, for those of you who might not know, Dwarf Fortress is a simulation game created by Bay 12 Games. Beyond quality is the title. It's basically a one-man team by the Toady One, aka Tarn Adams, a guy that is making this game since 2002, so that's 16 years in the making, and it is still being considered alpha version. We are going to be leading our dwarves, named after notable Pacific NPO celebrities, and we are going to try and lead them towards the greatness. Okay, so now we should start. Enough of this introduction. Okay, we should design a new world. It is much safer than creating a new one completely randomly. As you can see now, it is welcome to alpha. You know. Now I need to think of something. Okay. To enter advanced parameters is this one. Okay, as you can see, I can set up a few things. Yes. Okay. I'm just checking everything. Basically, these are all settings that are influencing how the world will generate. So just give me a moment. Okay, everything looks fine here. Double pawn, yes. Okay. Now here we are going to type in 800 to guarantee that we have many versions, many types of minerals across the whole universe. I'm just checking. Okay. I could just zero this all. And let's just leave it all. You are going to see what kind of fun things we are going to do later in the game. Okay. And we are back here. Number of civilizations 40, yes. Okay, because we are going to be playing. Okay, everything looks fine. Escape. Let's save this param set. It's F6. Let's check if it has saved. Let's go up. Okay, it's saved. So now we should generate a new region. And go. The music you are hearing right now is being played by Stone Sense and added to Dwarf Fortress because Dwarf Fortress itself doesn't have any sound other than the intro, which you can watch on YouTube, and two melodies, one of which plays on the main menu and the other one plays through the game all the time. Stonces is downloading the, I think it's GPL licensed music, and it uses this music in the game. Right now you can see the generation process. It's currently forming lakes and minerals, which means it is checking around the whole world for a good place to add set lakes, set minerals. The thing you can see here on the screen, screen. The thing you can see here is already a part of the generated world. Here, those grey triangles are mountains. Here are bodies of water. This is like a ocean. This is something like sea or like a big lake. Grasslands. Here mainly. Some forests, jungle, if I remember correctly. Yeah, don't worry, it might look terrifying right now because of the ASCII symbols. But this is just for this step, for the generation, for future configuration as for where we would like to settle and so on. But the main game will be in tiles entirely. It will have its own sprites and all. Some rivers. This a volcano, this red, I don't know, accent sign? Hell if I know how it's named. Basically those red things are volcanoes. Some more grasslands, I see wastelands around here, shrubs. Oh, a little desert. Very little. Non-villas. How many? 200 lakes and minerals remaining. Okay. Let's watch. Well, it isn't doing anything that we can see, but could see the lakes. They should basically appear on the ends of these rivers. Why they aren't appearing? I do not know. Maybe because they are spawned in a different part of the world. As you can see at the top, we have both the name of this world in both Dwarvish, I think, Ketkushul, and English, the past realm. Oh. It didn't like the previous region. Now here's the problem with Dwarf Fortress. The problem is that during generation it might decide it may decide at some point that it simply doesn't like the current state of the world. It will trash it and generate a new one in order to make it better. Basically, the bigger the world, the bigger the possibility of it happening. Once we get to the civilization stage, it shouldn't crash at any time, but right now, as we are still forming the actual world here, it may just decide at any moment that it's again unsuitable for playing and generate a new one. Those rivers are, as you can see here, they're quite normal in that they have their own springs from which they go to the deltas, which they connect with seas, lakes, and oceans. They aren't like Minecraft rivers, which can circle around uselessly. Basically, they're quite realistic, and that's the whole theme of this simulation game. Realistic. This game simulates many geographic and meteorologic things within this created world. The elevation, the erosion, those things are being monitored. Same goes for temperature. It automatically detects where the temperature should be higher, where it should be lower. It also detects humidity status. It watches, for example, like we have mountains. If there's like a very large range of the mountains blocking clouds from passing through easily, then of course from the covered side it would be something like a shrubland or a desert or something like that. Well, from the other side it would be like a grassland because clouds still can reach there and can still deal with terrain. The underground activity is also monitored. The underground activity is what pops those little volcanoes that you see here and here. This is like a very high peak. This isn't a volcano, or this is an inactive volcano. No, I don't remember. So yeah, this whole world. Oh, the music stopped. I know why, because it's simply like I think one track right now, and it's awaiting creation of this world so we can move on and play it. As you can see here, what we can see here, like a big bay, I suppose, or something like that. I don't know the English names, right? So sorry for that. You are free to correct me if you wish so. The link to this episode, as well as every other, will be available both on the Discord of NPO as well as the NPO forums, both the NS one and the other one. At least until the merger, in which we'll have only one NPO boards, and that's where I'm going to be posting everything. Oh look, that's where I'm going to be posting everything. It has grown vegetation, verifying terrain, wildlife, legends. Now it's placing everything, and we are going into civilization mode. At the top you can see the name of home site that is currently checking out, as well as the name of the terrain of the region this home site is currently located in. And you can see here little things popping out left and right, up and down. Those little omega signs are signs of mountain homes, which are dwarven capitals, so to speak, well, home cities. They're going to be popping out only within the mountain regions, as you can see here. Those grey things are roads. You can see that those places are like small villages, I believe, or something. And so on and so on. What else? There should be also some human cities popping up, but I do not see any here. You would see, like, yes, there are some villages, but I don't know which kind of villages they are. There might be human, there might be elven, there might be even goblin kind villages. It's difficult for me to say at this point. You see here more varied terrain. Okay, now here's the important thing. You might see here something like this and this. Those light blue and purple regions. These are respectively good and evil versions of said regions. Now, both good and evil regions have some special qualities to them. Namely, good regions are regions where everything looks beautiful, the grass is blue, it sometimes rains milk, honey, or even alcohol, if you are lucky. And beyond that, it is a very peaceful region. Animals that are living in there are also very peaceful, they aren't aggressive or as aggressive as others. Now, in the origins, things are, as you might have thinking, opposite. Namely, it rains with blood or acid, and it can melt your dear dwarf's faces down. Evil mists might rise up and turn your dwarves into zombies, or corpses into zombies, or dwarves into corpses. It depends. And animals are nasty, like real nasty. Let's see, we are at year 163 at the moment. We have some historical figures noted, some of them are already dead, and events including those noted historical figures. I'm wondering if we should allow it to go all the way to 2015. No, I think we should stop it at around 200 years. What? Yes, I think 200 should be okay. Basically, right now, with each year passing, the game simulates civilizations doing their things, settling, moving their armies, attacking settlements, and so on, performing battles, as well as the historical figures making a footnote in the world, like doing things, finding artifacts, killing each other, building something, and so on and so on. Basically, the more fun way of interacting with these historical figures is when you go into the adventurer mode, which we aren't going to, because we are going into Dwarf Fortress mode. Adventurer mode is something like, it's difficult for me to say, a totally open world, NetHack or Angband, basically all the rogue-styled games, not the roguelikes as we think of them now, the old roguelikes. Like I have said before, Hack, NetHack, Angband, and so on. But with open world, with open choices, the ability to build, I think, is now in the game. Okay. Actually, let's just let it run a little longer. So, some of you might be wondering, what does this game have? And the answer is many things. Like, it's difficult for me to say right now. So let's just be okay. Basically, Dwarf Fortress is in version point. Oh, let's just stop here. Let's just drop it into 200, and we are going to press enter. Now it's going to run another 4 years before it actually registers the enterprise. No problem. Dwarf Fortress is in version alpha 0.44, which in the creators... Oh, it stopped at 202. How nice. We can move around, we can see... Okay, you can see continents and things, hills, deserts, wastelands, and so on. Gulf. Or this is like a Christ lake, maybe? Oh, here you can see the ice. The ice caves, I should say. And as you can see, this world is quite expensive. The ice caves, like here we have the sea, like a big sea, which is reaching all around. Some evil. Oh, and here we have like a very big cape. Some islands, mountain, a very nice thing. Yes, use this word as it currently exists. And Get Hushul the Pastoral has been created. I can now export the images of this and things like that. No problem. So returning to what I was talking about earlier, version 0.44 alpha, which in what the Toady one thinks means that this game has, out of 100 concepts that Toady wanted implemented in the game, 44 of them are currently complete and in the game. This game has a lot of things, like really a lot. The simulation of building a fortress basically it simulates a lot of things, and in the fortress mode you also have more things to deal with, like trade, artifacts, like they are also present in the adventure mode, but I'm mainly talking about fortress mode because that's what we are going to be playing. Okay, let me just check one thing. It's currently okay. And we are already 20 minutes in. Okay. And let's just save it, synchronizing folders, yes. Let's think about who should be the first. Actually, let me just turn this pop filter a little. Okay, so now we are back in the main menu, but we can now start playing, which I'm going to do now. Here we can see three modes, fortress mode, dwarf fortress mode, which is what we are going to be playing right now. We are going to create a colony and die horribly. Adventure mode, where you can create a character of your own and wander this whole humongous world by yourself, doing things. And Legends mode, which is simply an exporter of all the fun things that happen in this game. Let's begin. As you can see, it is uploading all the necessary information for the game. And now we can see a calendar which shows how much time is passing until we actually begin our colonization effort, let's just say. Basically, every time you leave your fortress or abandon it or something, and you want to play this game anew in this region that you have just created, you have to wait 14 days in order to resettle things, or settle again or something. Okay, something is wrong because my Census doesn't actually play anything. Okay, let's just try it again. Okay, and we are going to do this. You aren't seeing nothing, but that's fine. Okay. Okay. Now it should be okay. As you can see, we have this whole world for ourselves. It is quite a big one too. So now we are looking for a place to embark to. Since I am not going to be leading him into the horrible death right now, I think let's just find something that will be easy to play in. Okay? So, in order to find something that we want, press F, and you can see, okay, savagery, don't care evil, don't care elevation, no, rain, drainage, flagstone, yes, aquifer, no, aquifer, well, aquifer, not aquifer. Aquifer is basically a stone layer which when you mine it, it turns into water, very not nice. River, let's just say yes. No, no, okay, well, just want to search something like that. Now we press enter and it just goes through all these regions, all these parts, to see where it can find a place where there is flagstone and no aquifer and river. Actually, we could just remove the river from the equation. It doesn't do much, and if I needed power, I would just use like windmills or something. Yes, there is power in this game. Basically, rotary power. You rotate things and they work sometimes, or not. It depends on how you set them up. Let's just let it go through everything. It will take some time, unfortunately, because of the size of this world. So basically we're going to be finding a site which will allow me to make a base that I want be flooded in immediately. That is good. But at the same time it will allow me a few liberties given the flagstone. Basically will be needed later in the metallurgy. Like there are going to be many things that I need to set up properly in order to have a fully working metallurgy. Not process industry. Nonetheless, it is better to prepare right now. Flagstone is quite expensive and I don't think I will be able to export anything of value to trade for flagstone. And I don't want to just create like stone chairs because stone chairs sell nicely. I don't care for stone chairs. Okay, 240 cells, less than 40 now I think remaining, okay. As again I have said, don't be scared because of how it looks right now. It's normal. Okay, it's finished. And now you see the green. Things are indicating things that we can use. UMKH. Okay. Now, by using the arrow keys, I move this thing, and the upper left corner I can see actually the local part, and I want something that has no aquifer. Sand, some soil, shallow clay, some soil. I wouldn't mind having sand and clay. Clay, very deep soil, deep metals. No, I don't want deep metals, just I want shallow metals and deep metals. Okay, just go here. Shallow metal, deep metals. Sand. Okay. No. Search for without aquifer. Okay. Clay. And here, let's try something. Down. Okay, we are here. And let's go here. Okay. Now this one looks like it is nice. Let's just do it like this. So we are going to have 3/16 part with the water. We have sand, we have clay, we have access to some soil. You have many metals, shallow and deep, as well as flagstone. The temperature is hot, but there is quite a lot of woods. The water vegetation is moderate, and it is considered being a wilderness, so we are not going to be swarmed with wild animals. So we are going to embark here. Now, what would we use? What should we use? Let's just use the basic one. No more admit available. Here is the window where you would normally set up your dwarves. And here is the window where you set up your items. You just switch them with tab key, as you can see. We need some meat, or we could just like You can see we have some copper pigs, an anvil, a copper crossbow, no, I don't like this. I don't like it at all. Skilled crossbowman, novice dodger. You aren't. Okay, you are the hunter. Okay, so it should be okay. And we are going to embark. Press E.
This will be our new home.
Okay, it loaded properly. You can see we are currently here. This is now new beautiful home. And I have already lost sight of my dwarves. Oh, here they are. You see, it looks nice enough in the game. Where did it... Sorry. Here we are. As you can see, we have a few, well, several. Actually, let's just switch. Okay. We are going to rename them. Miner. I'm just like really naming them randomly. something is wrong with this version, probably. Okay. And you are the leader, so... It just brings me back here, okay. So it may be something indeed wrong. Okay, you are a mason. Of course, how else would I have named him? Okay. I don't know what is bringing me back here. And I don't like it. Okay. So there is Keshav. Let's just think for a moment. Who should be here? I'm seriously out of... Actually, let me just read. Bad beings. Okay. Tough, good sense of empathy, very good intuition, good feel for social relationships and creativity. Okay, now I know. Okay, so that's how many? 5 named. I don't want just 5, I want all 7 of them. Now where are the remaining 2? Let's just use 2. As you can see here, each dwarf has its own description. Who it worships, who is it citizen of, when did it arrive here, how old is it, how it looks, its physical properties, shall I say, what it likes, what it dislikes, and its personality overall. Wait, I was meant to... I have no idea how to name you. Let's just go for random. It's something about the game that is wrong. Okay. So basically we have our choice, we have named them, and now we have to create our very own fortress in here. The very first thing that would be prudent to do is to create an entrance. As you can see, we have quite high trees here. Okay, now let's try to make something that will work well for an entrance. We're going to be taking a channel out. And as you can see, both laser and rock go out to dig this channel. Now I can drop one level down and start creating our didn't switch to the proper version. Okay, now they're going to be digging out this channel, so it will now contain a corridor, and we are going to be building another channel here because we can. As you can see, we have some tree roots, which means that above we have a tree. This one is clean. Okay, never mind. So let's just follow something relatively easy. Not free. Let's channel. Okay. Okay, now I test it again. Okay. We have struck magnetite, which means we have our first. Yes. As you can see here, we have reached actual stone. Citrine, which is, to my memory, some kind of something. Okay, never mind, let's just do something like this. On this level we are going to be having a trading depot. So when dwarves come to dig, to trade with us, they're going to be actually trading. No, scratch that, we are going to be making here a plot, a farm plot. Trading depot. As we can see, our farmer, which is I believe you or outer is okay, is building our farm. Where is it? Here it is. Okay. Yes. No. I've forgotten the shortcuts. Let's just use tower cut logs. Actually, woodcutter, go and cut me some wood. And here we're going to be planting plant helmets. That's in spring, in summer plant helmets, plant, and here plant helmets. So it's going to be plant helmets all year long. Okay. Here we shall have our workshop, so to speak. They're going to be leveling up when making this workshop space and storage space. You can see here magnetite. Can I use you into something? Large source, blah 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 blah. Ore of iron. So we have already reached iron. And here we see some actual blocks, which are still what? Siltstone. Okay. Our brave farmer author is just planting plump helmets. Here we have our trading post, and here we have wood that we have just cut. We are going to be making a workshop here. Actually, we could now just begin our work on making this workshop. What should we start with first? I believe... yeah, let's start classical. A carpenter. Let's use slitstone. And... a mason. Okay, chef. Here. That's using slitstone. And I'm now just going to be digging this out. Oh, stop digging it out. Oh, here we see our proud workers creating. Let's just move it here. Okay. That's better for the arm. Okay, and then we have a proud carpenter's workshop and mason's workshop. Okay, our dwarves need to sleep somewhere. So we are going to recreate some beds, and to have those rooms proper, we are going to add some doors. They are going to be sleeping here. Let's just create them some rooms. Right, okay. Okay, and these are going to be rooms for the first 7 dwarves. Wait, what is it here? Huh? Okay. Keshav has created a masterpiece door. Congratulations, Keshav. I'm so proud of you. Okay then. Everything looks fine right now. I'm just checking if there's some errors in here. No. As you can see, some citrine dropped out. That's nice. Actually, we can now place. So now that we have beds, we can place them. As well as doors. Okay, so these things are mounted, and now we can create a bedroom. And first dwarves that will be lucky enough to actually get in there and fall asleep will claim this. No. Okay. So, let's... An important thing of note is that those doors cannot be on a tile with another That's nice. So this is our wagon. Actually, I just remember that we didn't make ourselves any storage space. We do have storage space here, but we need to create some stockpile. Wood. Finished goods. And for furniture, absolute musts. Everything else is according to you. Okay. Now they should bring things here. We can create both standard, not doors, standard bedrooms as well as barracks. Okay, so that makes that. I have now just remembered that we have actually no coal whatsoever, so we are going to have to depend on charcoal. Okay. I don't have any clock even. 8 minutes left. Okay. Okay. Let's just create something like that. It's going to be something new as well. Don't forget those rocks to be digged out, because I cannot see under this. Okay. So that's one thing that needs to be done. Now here comes the other one. We need to also make a kitchen. Dwarves will gain experience in their jobs, and depending on this experience they will raise in levels in their given jobs. Set jobs. Will make them work faster or better. For example, miners will mine faster, while craft dwarves will be doing things better, better quality, faster, and so on. Oh, I do not like. We have flies. It isn't something I can work with actually right now, but rest assured I will deal with it shortly. As you can see here, we are digging out our very first not mine. Our very first metallurgy workshop. Yes, that's what I wanted to say. closing on an hour right now. We have struck shore. Whatever it is. It's another gem-like stone, I see. Never mind. Okay, we are out of plum helmet seeds. Actually, I'm just wondering if I should stop here. Yeah, I think I should. I need to check if this has recorded properly as well as a few other things, and I would like to play something else as well. Okay, so I think this would be it for now. I'm going to be... Actually, let me just finish this thing. That new. Not Mechanics Workshop. Where is it? Metalsmith's Forge. Okay, I have an anvil. I was afraid for a minute that this isn't the case. What furnace in the forge in order to burn wood into charcoal and forge to make things from metal. Ah yes, I also need this metal in order to make things. Okay. Make some charcoal, like 5 pieces. Here we can see this part building up in here. Okay. As you can see, you cannot select any of this because we do not have any fuel. And here is forging from iron. Actually, we got it. Our dear animal just shred this lizard to pieces. How nice of it. Too bad we cannot treat it. Here is kitchen. We actually should have even more space. Because 1, 2, 3 space, 1, 2, 3 space. We also need to create a brewery and a butcher shop to butcher animals. And I think that will be all for today's new Pacific Fortress episode. Stay tuned as I will try to announce when the next one will appear. But for now, wish you all a good day. Toots! Running out.